It's another edition of Time About the Movies. Today we're taking a look at the films of May 14th, 2004. Three more movies to look at today. We are in the midst of the beginning of the summer movie season, and so Van Helsing was a mix. It was a flop the previous weekend, so it's up to Brad Pitt and Wolfgang Petersen to help turn the tide, and they do it with their historical epic film, Troy. Well, let's find out. Well, not only do I think they succeeded, I think it's actually better than Gladiator. And I thought the first Gladiator was pretty good, even though I've had some criticisms about the second movie coming out. And yeah, that's for another time. But Troy, Wolfgang Petersen directed this movie. This was the film that he got to make as a consolation prize when his Batman vs. Superman movie got shut down by the studio. They still found him as a viable option as a director, and I mean, why not? I mean, this is the guy that did Air Force One, The Perfect Storm, and The Line of Fire, Das Boot. If anybody can make that work, I mean, this guy can really do that. And yeah, you've got Brad Pitt starring as the leader of the soldiers in here, the title character of the main character of Achilles, and the story takes place. It's loosely based on Homer's Iliad. Homer's Iliad, and its narration of the entire story of the decade-long Trojan War, condensed into a little more than a couple of weeks, rather than just the quarrel between Achilles and Agamemnon in its ninth year. Achilles learns his Myrmidons, along with the rest of the Greek army invading the historical city of Troy, leads him into there. I said learns, good word. Defended by Hector's Trojan army. The end of the film is not taken from the Iliad, but rather from Quentin I cannot read these names here. Smyrnaeus, Smyrnaeus. That post-Homerica, as the Iliad concluded with Hector's death and funeral. And despite my horrible pronunciations of all of those things that I just said, this is a really damn good movie, man. It did not get the proper respect it deserved back in the day, but it was a really damn good movie. It's, like I said, it's better than Gladiator to me. I think it's a fun, epic war movie, a big, epic period piece movie that reminds me of the classic movies like Spartacus, Lawrence of Arabia, Ben-Hur. I feel like they were trying to do that with a modern generation, and this is one that worked out very well for them. At least I thought it did. And Brad Pitt's very good in the film. Eric Bana, you forget that he was in the Hulk, and you realize you see him in this, just like, man, that dude can actually act after all. Orlando Bloom, Diane Kruger, Brian Cox, Sean Bean. Of course, he's going to die in this because it wouldn't be a movie if Sean Bean didn't die in it. Brendan Gleeson, and it's a really good movie. You can tell the production value is there. Everything looks like it is indeed there. And while it doesn't stray specifically from the original Homer's Iliad, I mean, they made a great movie out of it, and I think you can make changes as long as the changes that you do make actually benefit the quality of the film in general. And I think in this case, it does that very well with this particular film. I thought it was a very good film, a great epic movie, just kind of a little underrated, honestly. Like I said, I think it's better than Gladiator. Good fun time. Definitely the better way to start off the summer movie season. Kind of like with this year when we had Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's the second movie to open up the season, and then the first one was why am I forgetting? The Fall Guy. But then again, Van Helsing isn't The Fall Guy is definitely a much better movie than Van Helsing, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't know, if you're going to choose between The Fall Guy and Planet of the Apes to start the summer season, wouldn't you go with Planet of the Apes too? Just saying. But with that said, Troy is a really good movie, and on to the next movie, which is not a great movie, but from a guy that will have a great year in 2004 regardless, Jamie Foxx in Breaking All the Rules. Kind of about as generic of a romantic comedy as you can get. It's a movie where Jamie Foxx plays this guy who gets dumped by his fiancée. As you see from the trailer there, he pens a how-to book about breaking up and becomes a best-selling author on the subject, and not wanting his male friends to suffer the same fate, including Morris Chestnut, he gives them advice on dumping their mates, and a comedy of errors ensues, and so does the hilarity. And at least that's what they want. This movie makes you want to think it is, and the truth of the matter is, yeah, the movie really isn't all that funny. And like I said, everybody will come out of this unscathed. Jamie Foxx will have a banner year in 2004. This is just kind of a small little blemish on his track record for the year. I mean, it's kind of like with Envy with Ben Stiller. Even though Envy, I think, is much better than people let on, it definitely was a flop compared to the great year he had. We're only halfway through the year to see that, but yeah, like Jamie Foxx, his year will get better after this. I mean, 2 Oscar-nominated movies. One will win him an Academy Award. The year's going to get better for him. This was the last one, really, that showed that where Jamie Foxx was in that. Everyone looked at Jamie Foxx as that guy, that comedian, that one of the kings of comedy. You know, he had the WB show, and then following that, after the next movie he did, like he became that dramatic actor that I don't think anybody really ever saw coming. And we'll delve more into that once Collateral and Ray come out later on in the year. But as far as this movie goes, it's your pretty standard romantic comedy. It's a very formulaic movie. The stuff that they have in here isn't really all that funny or clever. The film tries way too hard at times. I mean, Peter McNichol, I feel like, is trying way too hard to be... He's stuck in that same character he was on Ally McBeal, which is a great character on Ally McBeal, but you got, like with Ray Romano and Welcome to Mooseport, you got to be able to branch out from your character that we know you for, best know you for, and kind of like with Ray Romano in that movie, Peter McNichol, I feel like, has a hard time really breaking out of that particular character. There are a couple little funny gags here and there, but other than that, though, it's a pretty lackluster movie in general. You could pretty much tell where it's going to go from there. They're going to end up on the train. You know, they're either going to, or at an airport to get back together at the end when they have their breakup, and that's exactly what happens here. This time it's a train, like I said, but it's pretty bland and mediocre. I mean, it didn't do horrible business in general. It did make back its budget of $10 million by just about $2.5 million. So I guess it all worked out in the end in terms of the financial stability for the film. But then again, Screen Gems movies don't usually cost all that much. But yeah, like I said, it's about pretty substandard for what you expect for a movie like this. It's pretty mediocre, and yeah, you'd be better off just avoiding it and to go to the real good stuff from Jamie Foxx that comes out later on in the year. So that is Breaking All the Rules. Now let's go ahead and wrap the show up by taking a look at Jim Jarmusch's latest movie, and that is Coffee and Cigarettes. This is an anthology movie. It's the title of 3 different short films that are spanned out into 11 short stories, which shares coffee and cigarettes as a common thread. You got one with Roberto Benigni and Stephen Wright. There's another one there was another one with Steve Buscemi in it. There's another one called Somewhere in California with Iggy Pop and Tom Waits. There's one with Joseph Pagano and Vinnie Vella. There's another one with E.J. Rodriguez. Another one with Alex Descas and Isaac de Bancoul. I think I pronounced that right. Kate Blanchett has one. Jack and Meg White from the White Stripes have one as well. Alfred Molina and Steve Coogan have a segment. The Wu-Tang Clan, the one where Bill Murray shows up in that one. And William Rice and Taylor Mead have one as well. And definitely a lot of mixtures between My Dinner with Andre along with Diner. A lot of these is very similar films in general. And not all the segments work in general, but the ones that do stand out, like the one with the Wu-Tang Clan, the one with Alfred Molina and Steve Coogan, a bunch of other ones as well, they are very good for what they're trying to accomplish here. It kind of reminds me a lot of New York Stories, the movie where the ambition is definitely there, and the promise is there when you got 3 heavyweight directors like Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, and Woody Allen working on a movie together, but only a few of those segments really do stick out the most. And just like with this film, this one definitely has a lot of those ones that do stick out better than other ones. The Kate Blanchett one is another one I could say is good, but the one I think everyone will remember the most is the one with the RZA and the GZA, Old Dirty Bastard, Chappelle's Show, Wu-Tang Clan, and Bill Murray. But other than that, though, it's fine. I mean, it's definitely not a great film in general, but you do get your money's worth with the stuff that actually does work in here. But it's not a bad movie in general. Just most of them don't work. A lot of them don't really work, but the ones that do make it more than worthy enough to watch as a one-time watch. So yeah, not much more to say about that one. That is Coffee and Cigarettes. And so with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies, and the summer movie season is really kicking into high gear with next week's big new release, and that is of course Shrek 2. That's the only big new wide release that comes out, the only notable new release that we'll delve into. We'll delve into that one on the next episode, and it feels right doing a full episode on this one because it's a pretty damn good movie. But we'll get to Shrek 2 next week, but until then, Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So with that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.